వరుస విజయాలతో అంతరిక్ష ప్రయాణాల్లో ప్రత్యేక సత్తా చాటుతోంది ఇస్రో. చంద్రయాన్ 3 స్పేడెక్స్ ప్రయోగాలతో ప్రపంచ దేశాల సరసన నిలిచిన భారత అంతరిక్ష పరిశోధన సంస్థ భవిష్యత్ లక్ష్యాల సాధనకు వడివడిగా అడుగులు వేస్తోంది. చంద్రయాన్ 4, గగన్యాన్ ప్రయోగాలు సహా అంతరిక్ష స్పేస్ స్టేషన్ ఏర్పాటుకు వడివడిగా అడుగులేస్తోంది. అంతేనా మలితరం ప్రయోగ వాహనం NGLV రూపకల్పనకు నడుం కట్టింది ఇస్రో. వీటన్నింటికీ సంబంధించిన పూర్తి వివరాలు, భవిష్యత్ లక్ష్యాలు తెలుసుకునేలా ఇస్రో చైర్మన్, కేంద్ర అంతరిక్ష విభాగం కార్యదర్శి డాక్టర్ వి నారాయణన్తో ప్రత్యేక ముఖాముఖి నేటి ఇది సంగతిలో.
Namaskar to all. I am Dr. Anubha Jain from ETV Bharat. Today we have with us Chairman ISRO, the newly appointed Chairman of India Space Agency, and Secretary Department of Space, Dr. V. Narayanan. Sir, I like to welcome you and thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule. From the historic Chandrayaan 3 moon mission to the recently held SpaceX docking mission to many other such astonishing future missions like Gaganyaan and Chandrayaan 4 are lined up in ISRO's basket for late 2025 and onwards. Talking more about such subjects and the dynamics of space adventure, space war. So first I like to ask, what advancements can we expect in ISRO's launch vehicle technology, particularly with the development of next generation launch vehicles?
We had the first launch in the year 1979. The vehicle had the capability of placing 40 kg satellite to the low Earth orbit. From that till today, we have developed 6 generations of launch vehicles. SLV-3, ASLV, the workhorse PSLV, GSLV Mark II, GSLV Mark III and SSLV. And in fact, recently we had accomplished successfully last month 29 the 100th launch we accomplished. Now the capability of the vehicle, if you see over years, from the SLV 340 kg to the Bahubali rocket Mark III, the capability of the vehicle has gone up to something around 8,500 kg to low Earth orbit. And now the government has given approval for the next generation launcher, which is capable of taking 30,000 kg to low Earth orbit, approximately 1,000 times of the SLV-3 capability. And this particular launcher is basically, if you see, it is a 1,000-ton lift-off mass vehicle with approximately 93 meter height is the vehicle, and having 3 stages with 2 strap-ons. And the first and second stage is going to be powered by a engine which is going to work with liquid oxygen and methane propellant combination. First and second stage. First stage will have 9 engines, each generates 110 tons of thrust and will have the propellant loading of something around 475 tons or also. And second stage will have 2 engines. And upper stage is a C-32 cryogenic stage where the stage will be operated utilizing liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen as the propellant combination. Then we too have 2 strap-ons, solid strap-ons, something around each 190 tons is the type of propellant loading. So that is the type of vehicle we have got approval, and we are in the process of completing the design and going ahead with the development. This particular vehicle, another important feature of this particular vehicle is, till today whatever vehicle we have developed all are called expendable vehicle, only one shot operation. In this vehicle, the first stage we are going to recover and reuse. That is also another important feature what is brought in the design of this vehicle.
So my question I was asking, ISRO has quite ambitious plans for the future, including Chandrayaan 4 in 27 and Gaganyaan in 26. So these projects are pushing India to new frontiers in space exploration, involving human spaceflight and interplanetary research. Where does the space agency stand in terms of preparation, and what are the current challenges regarding Chandrayaan 4 Gaganyaan missions?
First, let me address the Gaganyaan mission. The Gaganyaan mission is meant for taking our own astronauts, 2 or 3 of them, to the low Earth orbit, 400 kilometer orbit, and keep them safely for a couple of days and then bring them back safely. That is the program. Now for this, a lot of development has to take place. First and foremost, we have decided to use our LVM-3 vehicle. That vehicle is going to be human rated. Now human rated, it is not the same LVM-3 vehicle, human rated LVM-3 vehicle. Human rating, the meaning of human rating is, first of all, we have to increase the margin of this vehicle in terms of structural margin, in terms of thermal margin, all those aspects we have to improve. Another thing is increase the redundancy aspects, thereby improve the reliability of the vehicle. So with respect to this, almost all the activities are completed. In fact, all the 3 propulsion module, everything is human rated. We have gone through a series of tests and totally completed the development. Plus, in addition to that, we are also going to have a vehicle health monitoring system, real-time health monitoring system. This is one aspect of it. Second thing is, we have to, for the crew to be safe and we have got the orbital module, pressurized orbital module system. You know, for them to be inside, first of all, we have to maintain the required pressure levels, then partial pressure of oxygen, and carbon dioxide should be kept under control. Then relative humidity has to be maintained within the required level. Then temperature has to be maintained. So all these things, we call it a system called environmental control and safety system. It's a totally new development. This development is in the advanced stage. Then the vehicle per se will take the human being, the astronaut, to 170 kilometer. From 170 kilometer, we have to take them to 400 kilometer and maintain in that orbit. And of course, we have to bring them back. This activity is done by another propulsion system called service module propulsion system. And in fact, that orbital module have 2 modules. One is a crew module, another one is a service module. So the service module propulsion system will take them to 400 kilometer orbit, and there it will also maintain in that orbit. Then bring them back a portion of that up to something around 70 kilometer or so. A service module, there are thrusters. Basically, while coming back, you have to reduce the velocity of the module. So this is done by that propulsion system. Subsequently, they will be landing using parachutes. Next development is a crew escape system. Say when the crew is there, due to any reason, if any safety related problems are happening during the entire travel, then they should be totally safeguarded. For that, we are having fast burning solid propulsion system. Using that, we have configured a system called crew escape system. That system is another new development, and that also has to be tested and qualified at multiple levels. All the development activities are progressing well, and this year major milestone is first uncrewed mission we are targeting. Exact date, Honorable Prime Minister will decide, and we will come back. Now coming to Chandrayaan-4 mission, the Chandrayaan-3 and Chandrayaan-4, it is a quantum jump. Chandrayaan-3, it was purely soft landing. Now Chandrayaan-4, we are going to soft land near the South Pole and take sample and bring back to Earth and going to carry out experiments. Now in terms of mass of the satellite, Chandrayaan-3 satellite was something around 4,000 kg, including lander, rover, everything put together. Against that, here it is something around 9,200 kg is the satellite. That means with our current vehicle, we cannot lift this satellite using a single rocket. So we are going to build this in 5 modules. 5 modules, 2 stacks. One stack will have 2 modules. Another stack will have 3 modules. So it will be lifted off using 2 rockets of Mark 3, and it will be docked. All the 5 modules will be docked in the Earth elliptical orbit. From that, these 5 modules will travel, go together. Then you are utilizing a propulsion system, and the propulsion system will be separated. It is called propulsion module. Then the remaining 4 modules will go to Moon's orbit, and from Moon's orbit 2 modules will separate out and land on the Moon. Then after landing, the return module alone, sample will be taken, and return module will come back and get docked with the 2 modules which is rotating the Moon surface. Then all the 3 will move. Then the sample also will be transferred to the sample return module, and the sample return module alone will come back and land on the Earth surface.
So I just want to know, as you talked about docking thing, so ISRO successfully completed this SpaceX mission and achieving a crucial docking milestone. So while the mission appeared challenging from the outset, we are curious about ISRO's perspective on its complexity. And additionally, how will the newfound docking capabilities influence the space agency's future mission and objectives?
So docking process is done by a set of inertial systems, sensors are required, then camera systems are required, some sort of algorithms are required, then exactly you have to find out the orientation and you have to come and dock. And this was done successfully on 16th January and India becoming a proud fourth nation to accomplish this docking process. But this docking is not one-time affair. So right now the satellite is a composite satellite. Two satellites docked and together it is rotating as a single module. Now what we are going to do is, we have to really transfer power from one satellite to another satellite. That process is yet to be done. Another thing is we also want to do undocking and do docking, undocking couple of times to gain experience and to generate data. So we are not in a hurried way, we are not doing anything. We have got a ground simulator. What we do is we analyze the entire data and then decide what is going to be done and we simulate in the ground. And once we succeed simulating everything, then we are going to do that experiment. Now the experiment is going to be restarted from somewhere next month, the middle onwards, we are going to restart. And this experiment multiple times it will be done because as you know, finally it is fitting for our important program like Chandrayaan 4, as I told. The current rocket cannot lift off 9,600 kg to geotransfer orbit. So we are going to take two rockets and we are going to dock and move to Earth surface. Then again undocking the moon's orbit. Then there undocking. Again module has to again come back and dock. And this has to happen multiple times. That is one application. Another thing is the Honorable Prime Minister has given the approval for us to build Indian space station. So it is going to be a 5-module space station. First module we are going to launch somewhere in 2028 and remaining modules has to be taken separately and it has to get docked. This is second application. Third is one more work we have initiated configuration study, taking astronaut to moon surface and bring them back safely. Honorable Prime Minister has given this direction and guideline. We are in the process of studying. For that also this type of docking experiment will be helping in a very big way. So this is rather a forerunner for that type of activities and I am very happy that India is the fourth country in the world which has successfully accomplished this docking experiment.
And for such complex missions and such complex projects, ISRO is opening, I believe ISRO is opening doors to private space companies with a focus on satellite manufacturing, launch services and space tech. So how do you plan to involve the private sector in ISRO's projects and future missions?
So the space sector reform is brought inside. The role of ISRO is, you know, if somebody has to build a rocket and test and launch, they have to invest huge amount. And already we are having a lot of facilities. Why they have to invest? Our own country, even, and for our own purpose only they are going to build. So we are going to handhold and we are going to support them in terms of explaining them what is the type of technology and we are going to give our facility for them to do the experiments for launching and all those support. Rather we are going to handhold the private players in the country for doing the space activities, for contributing our country.
So how does ISRO plan to balance its commercial launch service with its scientific and exploratory missions?
No, see, our requirement is multifold. One is serving the common man in multiple domains, as I told, telecommunication, television broadcasting, disaster warning. This is one aspect. Second thing is scientific mission. Because today, as I told, Chandrayaan 3 has brought out a lot of scientific data. Chandrayaan 1, we found water molecule on the moon. Then Mars orbiter mission, another interesting thing. So much data has come about Mars and all these things are there. Now, when you talk about commercial aspect, to be frank, till 10 years back, we were not looking at the commercial aspect because our program meant for our people, this is the way we are going. But now, we are looking in the commercial aspect also. right now, if you take the entire space ecosystem with respect to commercial aspect, our market share is hardly 2% only. And recently, we got a great opportunity. For example, due to geopolitical reason, 72, One of India, One Mission satellite has to be launched. So we utilized our Mark III vehicle using 2 rockets. It was perfectly launched, and people are so impressed. And now lot of commercial potential is there even for that vehicle. Now, a country which was not having our own launch vehicle till 1979, today if you look at 433 satellites of 35 countries, we have launched from Indian soil using Indian launches. So today surely we are in the commercial business. We are through the in-space system and NCL system, we are going to increase our share from 2% to something around 10% in another 10 years. So towards that we are working. Once you have to get that, really we have to build the space ecosystem in the country in a very big way.
I would like to know more about this space debris. So how is ISRO preparing to address the growing challenges of space debris? Can you elaborate on ISRO's plan for ensuring the long-term sustainability of space activities, including debris monitoring, collision avoidance, and end-of-life disposal of satellites?
See, this is an important domain. Now, there was a time there were not much satellites. Before 1957, there was no satellite. Space was totally free. Now every country has placed their own satellites, and there are a lot of objects there. And the once the life is over, even some of the spent stages are there. This is the thing what we call it as the space debris. So what we do is, during the launching and placing the satellite, continuously we monitor what are the space debris available, and when you launch, with respect to our launcher or satellite, what is the relative position? Will it affect us? All these studies are done real time, and accordingly we set the launch time. So we call it a space situation awareness program. We are having an exclusive team working continuously monitoring. In fact, we also use the international community some data. So this is one aspect. Second aspect is, when you put an object and when the life is over, it should not really tamper others, So it is your responsibility to take care of. One is, yes, whatever object is there, after some time it will re-enter. But now so much crowded, we have to build a system in such a way that we ourselves remove the space debris. What way? One is, after the satellite life is over, you can move it to another orbit, a graveyard orbit type of thing, so that you are not tampering with others. So in fact, one of the experiments recently we have done, and we have successfully done. Another thing is, then at the end of the mission, don't keep unwanted gases, propellant, everything. You try to vent it out in the appropriate things. Next, another important thing is, if you take the satellite, currently a lot of technology development is happening. Yes, we place the satellite, and the life is 10 years, 15 years. The life is decided by a lot of things. One of the things is the propellant availability for its control. Once propellant is not there, what you do, the satellite cannot be used. For example, take a car. You fill the propellant in the tank and you drive. Once propellant is over, are you going to throw the car out? You are going to refill, and you are going to use the car again. So this is the concept we are bringing inside. So we can refuel the satellite by multiple ways. One is take, go, dock and refuel. Another one is go to the satellite, catch the satellite and fill it. So this is one way. Instead of putting the satellite after the propellant is over, and instead of telling it is a debris, and refuel and utilize. So thereby the country's requirement is met, but number of satellites which is in the orbit will be less. So this is another way. So like that, the space situation awareness is a very, very important task for all purposes. In fact, most of the countries are working on that, and we are having huge program continuously monitoring. And when you continuously monitor, you should be automated system so that you understand what is happening. So this is another area, important area called SSA, Space Situation Awareness Activities. So we are all working in that area.
Besides that, like Chandrayaan 4, we have talked a lot about Chandrayaan 4, Gaganyaan. But can you discuss any upcoming scientific mission, including PM has recently approved for this Venus mission? So ISRO is also very excited about this.
There are a lot of missions we are planning. One is Venus orbiter mission. Of course, already you are told we have got the approval. We are working on that. And another thing is, Mars, we had a orbiter mission. Now we are thinking, can we land on, like a Chandrayaan 3 landing, can we have a lander mission? Towards that, we are working on that. And of course, we have to go to PM and we have to get the necessary approvals and other things. Then another mission is the LUPEX mission, Chandrayaan 5 mission. And there, JAXA and India is going to work together. And it is a much improved version of Chandrayaan 3. In the Chandrayaan 3, the rover, the mass of the rover was hardly 25 kg. But here the mass will be something around 250 kg. And so we are going to work together. So Chandrayaan 5. So thereby, lot of scientific missions are planned.
Okay. And what are the key milestones ISRO aims to achieve in the next decade?
Say, next 10 years, when you look at, number one, our immediate priority is the Gaganyaan program. That is one priority. There we are taking our own astronaut to low Earth orbit and bring them back safely. This is one part. Second thing is the low cost access to space. Now our Mark 3 vehicle, the current capability is something around 4000 kg to geo transfer orbit. This capability we are going to increase to something 25% more by inducting new propulsion system. The Mark 3, the core stage is a air storable stage, propulsion stage. We are working on a liquid oxygen and kerosene propulsive stage, 200 ton thrust it will generate. And that stage with a little improved version of the Mark 3 cryo stage will enhance the Mark 3 capability 25%. And the launch cost will not vary much. Then you can understand per kg launch 25% cost will come down. That is one of the work we are doing. Next one is the next generation launcher, capable of almost 1000 times of SLV3. That we are in the process. Next one is, as I told, all these scientific missions like Venus orbiter mission, Mars lander mission, Chandrayaan 4, Chandrayaan 5, all these scientific missions. Then important thing is the space is supposed to be useful and serve the common man of this country.
Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And it was pleasure speaking with you. That was Dr. Narayanan, who candidly shared his thoughts and presented an insightful perspective on India's space agency, ISRO, its ongoing mission, vision for 2025, and what lies ahead in the future. Dr. Narayanan talked about strategic goals that will continue to elevate India's presence in the global space community. With this, we like to conclude this conversation. Thank you, sir. Namaskar to all.
Thank you. Namaskar to the viewers.